It's the BP show, it's the BP show, it's the BP batting practice show with Joe and Thomas.
Yesterday, another different brand today for Hudson Valley. They were the cider donuts. How was the cider donut burger? I know we gave some more reviews on air yesterday, but
I thought it was really good. It had the flavor profile and texture profile of a McGriddle,
yeah.
which is a sometimes treat. So, yeah, I would get it again. I'm not going to get it again today. I don't even know if we're offering it today, but if we are, I wouldn't get it. Like, it's not a 2 days in a row thing. It's a maybe once a month thing as a real special treat. But it was really good. I thought that last night was such a great night. So many fans wearing Cider Donuts gear. The line at the Cider Donuts cart over on the Michelob Ultra Party patio was 20 deep all night. They were cranking them out. People were just getting back online because they were so darn good. And I thought the jerseys looked good.
They did.
And of course, a win is good as well.
We love that as well. And definitely some time as well. 3 more Cider Donuts games the rest of the season. So if you missed that, you didn't get the mac and cheese or the burger, don't fret. You have 3 more chances to do so throughout the rest of this season. Let's talk about yesterday's ball game. A 3-2 come from behind victory. Renegades with 2 runs in the 8th inning. Let's roll those highlights from yesterday. The right-hander Chase Hampton got the ball yesterday, and he did not disappoint, Joe.
Now Hampton turned in yet another really great start for Hudson Valley. Struck out 10 yesterday. The second straight start that Hampton has struck out 10 batters. Went 7 innings. Goes back-to-back 7-inning starts. Juan Corella did it Friday. Hampton did it yesterday. Just really strong pitching. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. There was a double play that led to a run. There was a sacrifice fly later on, but he was fired up, spinning around after a strikeout. He struck out this side a couple of times last night. Just a really nice night. This is that sacrifice fly by Dylan Beavers that at the time topped the 4th inning, made it 2-0 Aberdeen. But other than that, I mean, Hampton was great. He retired after that sacrifice fly, or rather including that sacrifice fly, 12 out of the last 13 batters he faced last night.
It was funny. Yeah, you talk about striking out the side. He strikes out the side in the 5th inning as he mows down Aberdeen in order. 1, 2, 3. That's the way to do it as well. And then Marcos Cabrera is starting to get that offense rolling. He doubles down the left field line. Ball pinballs around in the bullpen. He was thinking 3 as well, but a ground rule double was called. Ben Cowell's very next batter did with the glove last night. Does it with the bat here as Cabrera will score from second base. Cowell's to second base, single with throw. And this is where Hudson Valley made it really interesting. We've seen the pitching this series able to keep him in it. And again, there was some really nice defense. Mentioned Cowell's, Richardson chasing a few balls down. But the pitching kept him in the ball game yesterday, as it has done for this series. And it gave him a chance late in that 8th inning as well. There's another from Richardson. Yeah, show them all.
2 really nice running grabs by Grant Richardson to save extra base hits last night. Hudson Valley was picking it defensively. I forget if we saw it, but Ben Cowell's made a great diving play early on in the game. Richardson made those 2 catches. Then in the bottom of the 8th, sacrifice fly brings Josh Bro home with the tying run. A little bit of a hug there for Warren Eubanks, home plate umpire at the end of that one. And then Eduardo Torrealba puts the Renegades in front. A base hit into left field, gets away from Douglas Hodo. Anthony Garcia comes in to score in his first game in a couple of weeks. Had been dealing with an injury. He's back, and a big impact last night. A hit and the go-ahead run scored in that key bottom of the 8th inning. Then Jack Neely in the 9th did what he does.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Ball game over as Cabrera backpedals, makes the catch. Hudson Valley snaps their 4-game losing skid, win 3-2 over the Aberdeen Ironbirds. And the bullpen continues to shine, starting pitching as well at Chase Hampton. The bats got rolling late in that 8th inning and some signs of life. And Garcia, you mentioned a hit, also walked, so he reached base twice, came around to score. And maybe that's just an extra guy in the lineup to give him a little oomph in that starting 9. And yesterday, see the hit total as well. Nice to see 7 hits. And again, take this one late. They steal it from Aberdeen, and it'll be a win to build some momentum. If they win today, then they go down to Jersey Shore on Tuesday, which right now only have half a game lead on the Blue Claws between first and second place.
Yeah, it's a really tight race down the stretch. Just 16 games left in the first half. In the South Atlantic League North, the Renegades half a game up on Jersey Shore after they swept a doubleheader with Brooklyn yesterday. So it should be a really fun series next week. One of the things Hudson Valley has done really well throughout this series is not letting Jackson Holiday hurt them. You see the line there, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts last night. He's gotten some hits in the series. He had a double a couple of nights ago. Continues to be a really impressive player. But the Renegades pitching staff has been so good just in general throughout this series, but they've been extra good against Holiday that when he has gotten his hits, they haven't done damage against this team. They've been bases empty kind of things, and they've held him in check in key situations, which was not something that they were able to do a couple of weeks ago down in Aberdeen, where Holiday really had a great series.
Yeah, again, just 19 years old, and he came in pretty much to yesterday as well, almost even in the strikeout walk numbers, which is really good again, especially for a 19-year-old top prospect as well. And we said it too, the top three men in this lineup with Wagner, Fabian, and Holiday, it's three of the best you think in the South Atlantic League from 1 through 3. Let's see how Aberdeen lineups today. Roberto Mercado here is his lineup card for the Aberdeen Ironbirds. Pretty much similar again, Wagner, Holiday, Fabian said 1 through 3. Willems has been a nice surprise in this series as well, had the home run earlier this series, but again, a deep Aberdeen lineup.
Yeah, Aberdeen getting Willems and Hodo this week. They got him on Tuesday from Delmarva, and they've both played a lot this series and been really impressive up at the plate, especially Willems has hit a couple of balls really, really hard. A home run, I believe it was on Wednesday for Willems, and that just added into what you had mentioned about Wagner, Holiday, Fabian at the top. Dylan Beavers, another guy who provides depth. This is not an easy lineup for the Aberdeen Ironbirds. They are right now a very good hitting team, and that's what makes what Hudson Valley's pitching has done throughout this series all the more impressive, with limiting the Ironbirds to 2 runs last night, 1 run the night before that, 2 runs the night there have been a lot of really low-scoring games, and we're talking about a really talented South Atlantic League lineup.
It really is, and Nelson Alex Pham to the hill today. Pham pitched on Tuesday, 5 shutout frames, picked up the win, allowed just to hit, walk 2, and struck out 5. They have Gene Pinto as well, and Pham. They have a number of starters, just like the Renegades, who are up in a lot of the league categories as well, which the Renegades, they've got 4 of their 6 starters run a 6-man rotation in the top 10 in terms of strikeout numbers. One of those players goes today. It's the Yankees' number 6 prospect, and Drew Thorpe, who's provided them a lot of depth as well. But first, let's take a look at how the Renegades will line up. There it is on your screen. Spencer Jones, Alexander Vargas back in the lineup. And again, Garcia hit 5th yesterday, was the DH. He's playing right field today.
Yeah, good to see Anthony is going to be back in the field after got eased back into the lineup as a DH yesterday. Alexander Vargas just the night off yesterday, back in hitting 2nd. Ben Cowles rewarded for a really nice game, back in the lineup again today. And Spencer Enza. This is about as deep of a lineup as the Renegades have had in a little bit, because you get Garcia back, and he adds so much power and really good plate discipline that he's just another guy as a switch hitter, can be a nightmare for opposing teams. And he was someone that they really missed throughout the month of May in their offense. Maybe the stats on his whole season aren't going to blow you away from what he's done so far, but if you watch him day in and day out, the way he works in at bat, and the quality of contact that he makes, it's only a matter of time before the numbers are very impressive for Anthony Garcia. And now that he's back, just another guy who helps lengthen this lineup, and again, something the Renegades really did miss.
Indeed, and again, Alex Pham getting the ball for Aberdeen. He goes opposite of Drew Thorpe. 52 strikeouts in 43 and 2/3 innings, and we saw the last 2 starters go 7 innings, and Juan Corella and Drew Thorpe. There are the numbers again. But seeing Drew Thorpe, a guy, too, that has gone 6 innings in 2 of the last 3, and he would have gone yesterday, except he fell just an outside 5 2/3 innings. So someone as well that you could see go deep into a ball game today, possibly, but which helps the bullpen. But the bullpen's been great as well, but it just provides a little bit less opportunities for maybe Aberdeen to see those same faces towards the end of the series as well in the bullpen.
Yeah, and it's funny. I mean, with starters going so long the last couple of nights, there's a couple of guys in this series that haven't pitched yet for Hudson Valley. So it'll be interesting to see how things shake out, where Thorpe's pitch count ends up today, and kind of who comes in out of the bullpen for the Renegades, towards the end of this game, especially if it's a close game.
Yeah, exactly. They're looking for back-to-back victories to close out this series. And talk about promotion for today. It is, so mentioned with the Cider Donuts yesterday, the Hudson Valley Cider Donuts. Now it is National Puerto Rican Day, so it's one of the Copa de la Diversión games. The Fenómenos Enmascarados de Valle de Hudson are back. Last warm on Cinco de Mayo, which I believe the Renegades won that game as well, yeah. It's also Family Sunday Fun Day presented by Mosquito Joe. So if you're watching right now live on YouTube or Facebook, bring the dog out to the ballpark. Kids run the bases after the game, and it's not going to be a hot one like it was a few days ago where it was 92. It was a little rain yesterday, but today forecast.
It's good dog weather.
It is good dog weather. They're not burning their paws on the concourse, and they're not dehydrated. It's going to be the mid-60s today. A little cloudy, a little wind. Very calm and kind of a casual fall.
We need to get like a green screen here so you can do a full weather report.
Yeah, I know. I think we talk about the weather so much that I think that's the next step. We're gonna work on that for the BP show. We'll give the weather, get a little drop-down menu, just boom, boom, boom. Show you the weather forecast as well.
Really, at its core, the BP show is a weather report.
It's a weather, a food network.
No, it's not. It's just weather.
Just weather.
Just weather. All weather, all the time.
Now, if you're watching
that's
live,
the Renegades BP show
get,
promise.
You get to see what the weather's going on behind. So then you're like, okay, what's the weather? What's the wind doing? A lot of things going on with the weather as well. But mention it is National Puerto Rican Day, so we'd love having trivia questions and trivia quizzes for Joe Vasile, trying to stump him. So we are going to have you guess. It's like, who am I, basically? Guess this Puerto Rico baseball player trivia. So I'm going to give you a few little hints. You're going to have to name the players, all basically current. I didn't go back to like the 50s or the 60s. Pretty much everybody in the last 20 years. Maybe a few local connections as well. But first, going to start with this former Minnesota Twin taken first overall by Minnesota in 2012. He's now pitching with the Blue Jays. And all these players are from Puerto Rico. He's a starter.
A pitcher?
Mm-hmm.
Taken first overall in 2012.
By the Twins. Or a first round pick, I should say, not first overall.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah. I don't know who the first overall pick in 2012 was, but it's not
We'll give
not the Twins.
He has
or a
made 2
pitcher.
All-Star appearances. Both with the Twins.
And he's with
He's
Toronto
with the Blue
now?
Jays, yep. Signed a big contract. I believe he traded, then signed the contract.
I don't know where anyone plays anymore. Is it Jose Barrios?
It is, yeah. It is him. Don't know if you get this one. The former Chicago Cubs catcher in San Diego Padres, played 1 year, was traded last year from San Diego to the Milwaukee Brewers. He's like a backup catcher. I don't want to give you the easy ones.
A backup catcher? You're giving me a backup catcher?
He's pretty well known. He's played about 7 years in the bigs.
As a backup catcher?
Started. Victor Caratini.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of Victor Caratini?
Never heard of it. I don't watch the NL Central or the NL West.
You don't watch all of baseball. Former Dodger, now on the Red Sox. I think you probably get this one. He's do-it-all type of utility.
Kike Hernandez.
Kike Hernandez. There you go. I figured you get that one.
Yeah. That's an easy one.
Well, yeah, I try to stay from the easy ones. I want to stump Joe. This catcher actually played the New York Penn League way back in 2009, before our time with the Little Spinners. Came up with the Red Sox, was traded
Christian
to last
Vasquez.
year. There you go. A catcher on the 2022 Houston Astros World Series team.
Martin Maldonado.
There you go.
A lot of catchers.
Well, I don't. For some reason, a lot of the catchers are from Puerto Rico. So if you want to be a catcher,
It's the Manny Sanguin.
Another catcher for you. Longtime Chicago Cub, was the National League Rookie of the Year in 2008. This is where we started to go a little.
Giovanni Soto.
Giovanni Soto, yeah. Which is surprising. I didn't realize he played 3 years prior, but only like 19 games in those 3 years before he qualified. Then for the National League Rookie of the Year. This former infielder drafted by the Yankees, 20th round in 1995, played with them in 98, then the Marlins from 1999 to 2005. Went on to the Red Sox after.
I'm sorry, the first thing you said?
20th round in the 95 draft by the Yankees. Played just one season with them in 98, Then went to the Marlins from 99 to 05. Then the Red Sox the rest of his career.
And what position?
Infielder.
He's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Pretty well known. Played third base, let's say. Third base a lot.
Mike Lowell.
Mike Lowell. There it is. This one, 13-year Major League vet, played from 1998 to 2010. He's most notably for his brother being a future Hall of Fame catcher. Played like all over. I think the Giants. I think the Rays for a little bit. His brother just retired last year.
Benji Molina.
Yeah, Benji Molina.
I always think of Benji Molina as an Anaheim Angel.
That's the one I should
And I'm not so sold on Yachty being a Hall of Famer, but that's a whole other.
Really? Okay. Interesting. Embrace debate. Okay. Last one for you. I think you might get this one. Local connection. 4th round pick by the New York Mets in 1999. Didn't make his Major League debut with them, but he did play with them for 4 seasons. Was an infielder. Played with the Giants after that. Won a World Series with them in 2012.
You said this guy's an infielder?
Infielder, yeah.
I would have said Angel Pagan.
It is Angel Pagan.
Angel Pagan was a center fielder.
Center fielder. I'm getting mixed up with that.
Yeah, that's why I made sure you said infield. I'm like, sounds like Angel Pagan, but
Angel Pagan, yes.
Yeah.
So interesting how that worked out. Drafted by the Mets, doesn't make his debut, but then ends up playing.
Went over to the Cubs.
Yeah.
The Mets traded for him from the Cubs. They sent. I know who it is. I know who they sent to the Cubs for Angel Pagan.
So I figure you know
And
all
the name is blanking on me, but it was like
I did not look it up.
It was like Robert Stratton or like it was some guy. The Mets had a whole bunch of guys in like the early to mid 2000s who would just mash in AAA and never quite made it to the bigs. And it was one of those guys that they traded to the Cubs to get Angel Pagan. But I am just, I'm blanking on who it is. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna kick myself for like not being able to pull like Craig Brazel or something like that.
some Miller Road guy.
Yeah, it's not Craig Brazel, but something like that. Yeah.
That's good. You got pretty much all of them. So yeah, that is Puerto Rican National Day here today at the ballpark. So Phenomenals and Masquerados.
I'm very upset that we didn't talk about the greatest Puerto Rican player of all time, and Roberto Clemente.
That is true. I didn't want to. I figured that would have been like one of the easier ones. So I was just trying to stump you more. But I mean, Roberto Alomar, Pudge Rodriguez.
Well,
Lindor right now.
To heck with Roberto Alomar, but no, we do love Roberto Clemente.
Yeah.
A wonderful, wonderful man. Great ball player, better human being.
I think he was actually just in Baseball Reference a few days ago with him. Some with Joe Torre situation that occurred between him and Joe. I don't know. I was just scrolling through and I read about it just briefly, but obviously longtime Yankee skipper and all that. But yeah, Roberto Clemente, one of the best to ever do it. So
For sure.
when we come back here on the BP show, we'll get you the Renegades Pick'em contest, a chance to win 2 free tickets to a Renegades game this season. That's next on the BP show.
And now a reading from Rascals Ramblings, presented by Showtime Cinemas in Newburgh. Tonight is the debut of the Hudson Valley Cider Donuts, and I could not be more excited. Not only because it's a cool name and a fun jersey, but I don't know if you've noticed, there's some fun new food ideas out there as well. Now, I'm sure by now you've tried the unique Cider Donuts food that we have available today, the Cider Donuts Mac and Cheese or the Cider Donuts Burger, but I wanted to take a moment and list a few other options that you won't find on the menu. For instance, order a donuts, order a Dippin' Dots, Cider Donuts a la mode. Or maybe you have a savory tooth. What about Cider Donuts Pizza? Grab a slice, slap a donut on there. Or Cider Donuts Beer. Plop a donut in the Renegades Lager down at Sloop. Point is, the only limit to the unique Cider Donuts concoctions here at the ballpark is your imagination. Let it be free. This has been Rascals Ramblings, brought to you by Showtime Cinemas in Newburgh.
Rascal had some interesting thoughts about the cider donuts yesterday. I know there's other cider type foods as well. Obviously, cider hard
Cider
alcohol.
the drink?
Yeah, I could drink apple cider. That's one of my favorite fall-time favorites as well. get that and the cider donuts. That's going to be maybe something on the BP show. But you got to
Get an Awestruck hard cider here at the ballpark.
Exactly. So I combine both of them together. You get all cidered up for the next game for the Hudson Valley Cider Donuts. But today, the Phenomenals and Masquerados de Valle de Hudson here today on National Puerto Rican Day. He's Joe Vasile. Again, I'm Thomas Finzarello. This is the BP show, and a chance for you guys at home to win 2 Renegades home tickets this season to any home game the rest of the year. Find out a chance how to do it. Here you go. We'll explain it to you. Pick 3 position players on the Renegades active roster. No pitchers. Unfortunately, maybe Chase Hampton would have had some big points yesterday if we included pitching.
Well, look, you can pick a pitcher. They just won't get you any points.
Yeah.
So your loss if you pick a pitcher. You only get points for offensive things.
We like offense in this game. Definitely, indeed, and we had some late offense yesterday, so that was huge lift for a lot of everybody at home and for us as well. But in order to win, you have to be both Joe and I. There's only one winner as well. So let's say if someone has 25 points, someone has 18, and they both beat Joe and I, that person who's 25 wins. Sorry to the person at 18. Better luck next time. Let's take a look at the scores and where we match up right now. Greg Richardson yesterday got me a pair of points. He got a walk. Eduardo Torrealba 2-hit evening, including one in the 8th inning that ended up being the go-ahead single. Ben Cowles 5 points for me, so 15-8. I beat Joe. Spencer Henson had a good night at the plate.
Spencer Henson didn't play.
Or Spencer Jones, I mean.
Alexander Vargas didn't play. This is not fair. This is not fair at all. Two-thirds of my lineup wasn't there, and I still almost beat you.
Yeah, you almost did. Jones had a stolen base. Those stolen bases matter. 5 points, and he got a base hit as well back in the first inning. So maybe another hit would have brought you closer in Joe's players if they played. Or now, let's see how the fans at home on Facebook and YouTube did. Tom Rensberger, congratulations. You won yourself 2 free tickets. Beat out Lev Reutemann. Fortunate him again, 17 points. Would have beat both Joe and I, but he didn't beat Tom. He had Torrealba, Marcos Cabrera had a double, and Spencer Jones. So big props to him. Not many people had Marcos Cabrera in their pick and contest. So we'll be reaching out to you today about those free tickets. Bring them to the next homestand or the next cider donut game, or whenever you want to come down to the ballpark here at Heritage Financial Park as well. So the series is tied between Joe and I, 1 apiece now for this season-long race. It feels like the FedEx Cup in golf. It's a long, long road to the end of the season for both Joe and I and the Pick'em contest. But again, Renegades wrap up their series today. 2:05 first pitch. Drew Thorpe against Alex Pham for Aberdeen, the Orioles and the Yankees, high A affiliates. Next week, Joe will be down in Jersey Shore with the taking on the Blue Claws with the Renegades. The Phillies affiliate, and a big series as well as they start to wind down that first half of the season. Then we'll be back home 2 weeks. That's the week after that for the Rome Braves.
Real quick, on a Jersey note, I want to wish a good luck to our colleagues, Stephen Cusimano and Eli Fishman with the Somerset Patriots. They are attempting, we did the 9 hot dogs, 9 innings challenge a few weeks ago. Yeah. They're attempting something that is far easier than the very easy challenge that we did. They're doing 9 slices of pizza in 9 innings today. Okay. And I told Stephen, I said to him, if you don't finish this, I will have him banned from the state of New Jersey. I think I need 8 slices of pizza. I could eat 8 slices of pizza between now and first pitch at Hudson Valley. I could definitely polish that off, and then one more. So
the whole medium pie, basically. And they having cheese, they have pepperoni, they having toppings. That's the.
I don't know what they're having. I mean, so good luck to them.
Yeah.
And, just your future of being allowed in the Garden State is on the line. So.
Otherwise, they'll be traded for.
I'll get him a one-way ticket to the Florida Complex League.
It's been reassigned down to Tampa. No, good and all. We'll have to figure out a food challenge then for the next series. Maybe not. We just like having food on the BP show as well, just to taste test it. It's like the Weather Channel, the Food Network. I know, just the Weather Channel for the most part, but it's a little bit of everything here on the BP show. Make it nice, family-friendly oriented. That's what we love to do here in Hudson Valley. That's going to do it for the BP show. He's Joe Vasile. I'm Thomas Finzarello. See you 2 weeks from now when the Rome Braves come to town. Good luck on the Renegades Pick'em contest, and go Renegades.
It's the BP show. It's the BP show. It's the BP batting practice show with Joe and